Hey guys, it's Quigley again with another ROM review, and this time I've got a very interesting ROM. This is called SLiMM 2.0, and the SLiMM is with two M's for the Xperia Z3, so stay tuned for that. So guys, this here what I have is called the SLiMM ROM, that is again with two M's for the Xperia Z3. Now the thing about this ROM is that this is a stock based ROM. This is not those fancy Xperia or any other ROMs like Resurrection Remix or all that. There are these things available for this phone, but I am sticking with stock based ROMs because of the camera performance, battery life, and music playback performance. So that is what it is about. So yeah, let's get to the ROM now. First of all, what you saw there is the normal. Now this is based on the latest firmware update, which is basically the update version is 23.5.A.1.238. that is the Marshmallow package, that is 6.0.1, and that is the latest one available for the Z3, so that is really nice to have, so pretty nice. Now let's get started on this ROM now. First of all, this is a stock ROM, so you will be having all the Xperia apps here on board right now, so you can see music, album, video, all of them are the stock Xperia ones, but this is basically styled after the Xperia X phones, which is the latest phones from the Sony lineup. So this is not the Z series, this is the X series, so you can actually expect a lot of stylings from there. So let's go to settings now. First of all, in the about phone page, you can see that this is Android 6.0.1, so that is the latest version. The model number right now it shows as 6603, but the phone actually is 6653. That's because the 53 and 03 versions are compatible with both the phones, so you can actually flash 03 versions onto the 53 phones, but a few bandwidths won't be available for you to use. More on that you can find in the XDA developers thread. But for my usages and in India, 6003 and 06653, at least in my place, because 53 has a few different 4G antennas available. I really don't need that because my area doesn't really have 4G, as hard as it is to believe. So yeah, now the SLiMM ROM version is 2.0. There has been other versions 1.1 to 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.9. I've already used 1.9 and that was really nice, so that was pretty awesome to have. Now the security level patch is for April. That's not the latest one, but still it is a up and coming ROM, so you do have security updates in monthly basis. So we'll be getting a security update soon enough, so that's not something to worry about. So yeah, that's it in the about phone page. Now in the settings, what you get in the settings is basically what you get in any other Xperia Z series of phones, so it's nothing special here, but there are a few things which I really appreciate in this one. Now themes, this is the standard theme, so as you can see the styling is basically based on the Xperia X phones, so you do have that. In the display options you do have wallpaper, clock, glove mode, which I really appreciate, which is available in all the Z3 phones, Z series of phones. Now this is something extra which is called color control. This does require a root access, so when you first log into this device, it will ask, this software will ask for a root access to change the color. So you can actually see that a lot of stuff can be changed in here, so you can actually change the way colors are displayed on your LCD screen. Now it is kind of a known problem that the Z3 colors tend to be more washed out and the colors are not accurate enough, but this one does give you an opportunity to set the colors straight, set it right for your states, so that is pretty nice to have. Adaptive brightness is pretty nice to have. White balance, this is a normal white balance which the Xperia bundles with it. Font size, I really like the small font size. It also has a change font option. You can actually change the fonts in here, kind of like how Samsung has that thing, so you have to have a restart for that, but so I'll be just showing you guys how it is. So just so you guys know, the boot animation for this ROM is basically the Android Marshmallow boot animation, which is pretty amazing. I mean, I really like this boot animation because that is simple and it shows in animation so that you know that the device is still functioning. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. So as you can see, the font has already been changed to something more. This kind of reminds me of Comic Sans, which is, I don't know. I let me just not talk about that. You do have double tap to wake, which is a really awesome feature. Okay, now press power button twice for camera. I'm not entirely sure why the Z3 has this option, because you already have a dedicated camera button. You can long press that button to go straight to the camera when the phone is locked. I'm not sure why you would press power button twice rather than long pressing this one, but there is an option available, so I'm not going to well, bash too much into that. So just for you guys know, let's get started now. When device is rotated and all that stuff. Call settings, you do have Xperia answering machine, reject with a message, call forwarding, barring, all of that options are available. It does have an enabler for the noise suppression on the secondary microphone. You do have that, so that's really nice to have. Equalizer for the talk, how you are going to talk, and slow talk for mentally challenged, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. Sound and notification, you do have all the options available, which is there. So yeah, pretty nice to have. Keep notifications on lock screen, and even though you have swiped away from the status bar, you do have that option. Apps and all that is really nice to have. Now storage. Now the thing with the latest version of Android, that is 6.0 onwards, is that the storage SD card can be enabled as your internal storage. So I've tried that. This is a 64 gig model I have inside of here. I have tried that, and it actually does work pretty well. But the problem is that once you pair it with one phone, you can't really use it with anything else. So hot swapping and all that, you can just forget about that. So that's not the entire way I pictured it, but I guess that's the only way they could implement that and be safe about the operation of the SD card. So pretty nice to have that. So if you have a dedicated SD card for your dedicated phone, that might be a very good way to expand your internal storage. Like if you have a 32 gig memory card, you just pop that in, make it you have to eject that and enable that as an internal storage. So that will add the 16 gig to the 32 gig, and that total will be your internal storage. That is really nice to have, and yeah, I really do appreciate that. Battery life. Now this ROM is a behemoth in battery life, because I've had this ROM and traveled to I'm not entirely sure 3 days without batteries. That is pretty sick. I really don't have the stats for it right now because I was not available there. I was testing this ROM out, this one and another ROM, which is called the what was that, Alumna, which is also a 6.0 based ROM. This ROM thoroughly beat that ROM out because it was that good. It does have stamina and ultra stamina. I didn't use the ultra stamina mode, but I did use the stamina mode, which was pretty good. 3 days without a charge. That is amazing. Now this phone is capable of 2 days without a charge, but I have never been able to get 3 days out of this phone, so that was really nice to have. So yeah, pretty nice. Memory is again 3 gigs of memory. The memory management is pretty nice to have because I mean, total memory is 3 gigs. But right now I have almost 1.7 gigs free, which is almost 1 gig of active usage. So yeah, pretty heavy, but still it can get the job done. So I guess that's good enough. Rest, everything is similar to what you would expect in any other Xperia ROM. Nothing special, nothing fancy here, but hey, this is not going to be your fancy stuff. So yeah. Now let's get to the apps which comes installed on this. Now you don't get much. File manager, I have installed all of these 4. I have installed, so you are left with nothing. You have Play Store, that's a good thing. You have browser, that's also a good thing. And album and music, all are Xperia apps, so you do have that also. But it would have been nice to have a file manager in build so that I can just install my APK files, because that's how I install at least the Antutu benchmark application. But I understand most people do that through Play Store, but also most people don't flash custom ROMs, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, I guess that much is it about the applications with which it comes. Nothing special to talk about, but this is a rock solid steady ROM, which I can take this ROM and just go with it, because I have not experienced any crashes with this ROM. I have used the Lollipop version of this ROM, which was, I guess, version 5 on board my travels, on board the ship when I was traveling, and I really liked that because it was really rock solid. So that was really nice to have. Now let me show you guys the Antutu benchmark score, which is pretty nice. So this is my previous score. I will test it again and show you guys how the score is right now. So guys, there you have it. That is the score which I received, and the ranking is well, slightly above this 1+1, which is, well, probably not how the ranking is, probably. So yeah, that is the average score which I'm getting, about 60,400. So that is pretty nice to have. I really have no issues with that. So yeah, now let's go through a few of the change logs which the developer has given in for this device. Now, first of all, this is deodexed, so you do have all the customizations for this device available. So that is deodexed. Deblotted, yes, a lot of applications are not there at all. It does have the SuperSUIT 2.7.1. I guess the latest one is 2.885. I'm not entirely sure. This does come with the latest version of Team Win Recovery Project, which is 3.0.2.0. So that is a slick interface. So that is really nice to have. It does have expose support, so you have to flash the exposed stuff so as to use that. So just for your information. Now, so guys, I guess that much is it about the ROM. Now most of the stuff you see here is basically from the Xperia X. So you do have the latest application support and the latest frameworks for camera and all that. Yeah, let me just talk about camera. The camera is the latest interface and latest I guess what you get from the Xperia X, and from my experience it is kind of faster than what you had in the Z3, but still it's almost the same interface. So you do have the manual mode, which has a very paltry options available for stuff which you need, and you do have all these scene options and all these stuff. Superior auto video option, and you have the camera applications, in which there is the time shift, 4K, all of these available. So, and you can also add new camera applications from the website, from their stuff. So you do have camera 2, cam scanner, all of these are available. So that's pretty nice to have. So yeah, I guess that much is it about this ROM. Now, what I want you guys to take away from this is that this is a very rock solid ROM, which will help you out in your travels when you don't have the option to change stuff and you do need ultimate reliability. This one will get the job done. That is something which I really appreciate on this ROM. I personally, the phone right now is being used by my brother, and this ROM is what I'm going to recommend to him, because this has served me for more than 8 months, and that in itself is a big achievement. So yeah, that's pretty nice to have. So yeah, I guess that much is it about the ROM. Hope you guys like the video. Please share, subscribe, and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.